All right, states have been hiking the minimum wage, I should say. And a lot of states were warned you're going to do this. People are going to leave your states, but it hasn't happened yet. Jeff Locke has been monitoring all of this as 20 states now are looking at these higher minimum wages. Jeff, good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Neil. And even more local governments, counties and cities also are raising it. As you point out, 20 states across the U.S. We've got a map that show you where the minimum wage has gone up. This is the federal minimum wage remains at $7.25, which some people say, well, hasn't been raised since 2009. But state and local communities willing to do this now, either by state legislatures or ballot measures where voters, approve it at the ballot, or just cost of living increases. Biggest increases around the country, California and, Massachusetts. Both went up $1 to $12. Maine went up $1 to $11. Arkansas and Missouri, those states up by 75 cents each. What is the impact? As you point out, there is perhaps an impact to this. Well, it's 5 million plus workers getting an increase, and if they work full-time at minimum wage, they'll make an additional $90 to $1,300, depending on the state and the local municipality in this year. The cost to employers, $5.4 billion. Some people are worried about that, but it's interesting. We've got a map, too, I think, and we talked about this earlier in the week, Neil, about the population shifts. Tends to be in the U.S. away from high-tax states like Illinois, where I sit right now, to low-cost states in terms of taxes. But when it comes to minimum wage, actually some of the fastest-growing states are also increasing their minimum wage. And a lot of people think, it shouldn't be the federal government doing this. $7.25, obviously, in New York, that you're pretty much living on the street probably. But if you're in the middle of North Dakota, $7.25 is not so bad. So maybe it should be the states and the local municipalities that have control of this. We'll see how it turns out.
Jeff, didn't a lot of them phase it in and at different rates for different types of workers? I know here in New York, where we are broadcasting on right now, they have tiered wages for, let's say, a teenager working at a local restaurant or what have you versus those who work, let's say, at a major department store or what have you.
Right, as well as, different wages for like a big employer, if you got more than 50 employees, less if you've got a small business. So, that actually makes some sense. It's a nightmare when you're trying to make a graphic up on this and try to explain it, but it actually makes some sense because every state, every municipality in some ways is different, and maybe they should be the ones setting the deal instead of the federal government decreeing what a minimum wage should be for everybody.
But you weren't criticizing our graphics folks for not making a graphic.
Oh, they would do whatever. And by the way, my first raise as an employee, it was when Jimmy Carter signed a raise in the minimum wage.
Is that right?
That was my first raise I got. Not because of anything I did, but the minimum wage went up.
I remember I had something similar when Millard Fillmore instituted one. And
yes, boy, I remember that. One of our greatest presidents.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you voted for him, too, didn't you?
I most certainly did, especially after that. But thank you, my friend. As always, Happy New Year.
Good to see you.